robots, nature, and a grocery store on this Level 99 Games Community Showcase. Hello World of Indians, it's me, Marco DeSantos, also known as the Mechanic Critic, here to bring you guys some art and other community creations that you guys made for, well, the enjoyment of all of us. Now let's not dilly-dally and let's start off with this amazing cadenza fan art by a lot of spiders on Tumblr. Now I highly doubt that they're just a bunch of spiders, but this artist has done a great work with this piece. It shows off Cadenza in his mighty glory with his spindly little spine. However, what really makes me like this piece is the wonderful colors that the artist uses, as well as the crumpled paper effect. Not to mention the thick outlines he has on the character, which really makes it pop. Speaking of thick outlines, this Lixus art from Tumblr user Ambaphius is really pretty. Not only does she have really thick outlines, making her really defined against this really watery, paintery background, she has very nice colors, and I really like the touch of those flowers down at her feet, because we all know that she's a dryad and she's a tree. But aside from that, I really like how dynamic her pose is and how much she feels very alive in this piece. Now, straying away from all of this color, we have this Clive fan art from Jessica Malcolm. This art is very interesting because of the fact that it doesn't really make use of a lot of colors like the previous two arts did. Instead, this uses a really toned down shade of blue, and that's pretty much most of the color in this piece. What really sells this piece is the great use of shading, as well as the dynamic posing on Clive. It really makes you think that this guy's ready to leap into battle, or at least is a very jovial and funny kind of guy. I really like this piece, and I'm a real fan of this art. But drawing isn't the only things you guys can do. Over the years, many of our World of Indians community members have written a lot of World of Indians fan fiction or derivative works of writing. And I feel like this month, especially in light of our fan fiction contest, is the best month to start highlighting some of these wonderful works of art. For one, let's start off with Eric at the Grocery Store by Tirankin on fanfiction.net. This story is a mix of hilarious and kind of a little bit of sad. You see, it characterizes Eric in a grocery store. It is exactly what it says on the tin. It's funny, hilarious, and depicts some of the interesting characters of Indians in situations that would seem completely nonsensical, but will completely work for the sake of a joke and a good characterization of certain characters. Speaking of great characterization and fanfiction, it's about time that we announce the grand winner for our fanfiction contest. There were many entries, and a lot of them were good, and some even made me chuckle out loud, but one had to rise to the top, and that story was, drumroll please, thanks Future Marco for editing that in, the grand winner is Substitute Trias by Daniel Ziegler. This story is so well executed, so funny, and just so elegant in the way it was written. Long story short, or in this case, short story shorter, this story is all about Trias trying to explain to Dean Exophern why he ended up teaching a class at Argent University despite the fact that he's only a student. It's hilarious and multiple, well, you could just say revisionist fiction, history, and explaining and excuses and just hypothetical made-up stories ensue. Trias is a character known for his, let's just say inaccurate recallings of things, so you can imagine how hilarious the explanation can get. If you guys want to read this story, it's available in the links down below, and it's available on our blog sites. And if you guys want to read the other stories that came pretty close to being first place, you can also read them there. They're all funny, and they're all, well, not all of them are funny, but they're all good, and some of them are at least funny. Trust me, you will want to read the one about Demetros. Just trust me. Of course, all of these winners get their fair share of store credit, which they can use to buy some of our Level 99 games. However, the grand winner not only gets more store credit, but also gets their fanfiction read on the Level Cap podcast by me and Brad. So, if you guys are watching this video right now, it is very likely that we already released the Level Cap podcast episode 11. where Brad and I dramatically read this story for all of you to enjoy or make fun of us for reading. Regardless, it was fun, it was hilarious, and you'll get to hear some of the story without having to read it. So if you guys want to watch that, I highly recommend you go to the channel and click on that video and listen to it. It's going to be funny, it's going to be hilarious. Or of course, you can just listen to the podcast via our blog sites. And that pretty much does it for this month's Community Showcase. I really enjoy getting all of the wonderful art that you guys have. If you guys want to send in some of your art, your creations, your stories, or whatever, anything creative you want, you guys can send it over to us via our social media sites, or you can send it to us via our emails, which I'll post all in the description down below. Without much else to say, thanks for watching, and good night. Oh, and don't forget to keep creating.